11 News. Coverage you can count on.
Evidence markers scattered all around the scene of a triple shooting over on the north side. 2 of the men are in critical condition, and police are searching for at least one shooter. Investigators say what happened was not random, and it has neighbors on edge this afternoon. The victims were found on East Ohio Street and nearby at James and Sussman Streets. Channel 11's Mike Holden learned as many as 20 shots were fired.
Surveillance cameras up top like this could be crucial in solving this triple shooting. Neighbors told us the scene was absolutely terrifying in this north side business district. They heard upwards to 20 gunshots back to back to back. Investigators are still working to determine what went wrong, and neighbors say they hope there's an arrest sooner rather than later. This afternoon, Pittsburgh police and public safety officials have cleared out of the north side, but the investigation is just beginning, with many community members still processing what went down. Channel 11 followed Pittsburgh police as they swarmed the north side last night. They were called to the area of East Ohio Street for an apparent shootout. It happened just after 9. When they got here, they found one man shot. Not far from there, they discovered 2 additional men shot near James and Sussman Streets. All 3 were rushed to the hospital, 2 in critical and 1 in stable condition. Our camera captured one of the victims being brought out of Isley's on East Ohio Street. We also spotted a gun inside of a pizza box resting in the street. Neighbors say they have a suspect on camera running from one of the shooting scenes. Pittsburgh police say this does not appear to be a random act of violence. Needless to say, neighbors say this is all troubling.
Why? It's hard to explain. It's like, really? You got nothing else better to do than to shoot somebody? Oh man, look, that is extremely nuts.
And quite a few business owners have signs posted just like this stating that the area is under 24-hour video surveillance. We're now working to talk with investigators about the latest developing details in this ongoing case, plus talking with additional community members about how they're working to rebuild this part of Pittsburgh for Channel 11 News starting at 5 o'clock tonight. Reporting from the north side, Mike Holden, Channel 11 News.
Also breaking right now, in the past hour, Allegheny County health officials updated us on new COVID cases. And after a jump in cases yesterday, they're back down. 209 new cases since yesterday. County leaders are set to hold a briefing on the vaccine rollout at 4 this afternoon. And in just over an hour, the state is expected to hold a meeting to explain how it's allocating vaccines in our area. We'll bring you the developing details tonight at 5 on Channel 11 News. To more breaking news now, White House sources tell NBC News President Biden will announce the Department of Health and Human Services is ordering an additional 100 million doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. The president is expected to announce the agreement during a White House meeting with executives from Johnson & Johnson and Merck. Right now, J&J has a deal with the U.S. government to provide 100 million doses of the vaccine by the end of June. A big day in the vaccine rollout. Teachers and school workers in Pennsylvania are starting to get their COVID shots. Giant Eagle will offer a 2-day clinic at Heinz Field this week for Pittsburgh public school workers. There will be enough doses for as many as 3,000 people. The clinic will be held tomorrow and Friday. And teachers statewide will be getting Johnson & Johnson's vaccine. Remember, it's just one shot. Pennsylvania set it aside for our teachers. So that amounts to 124,000 vaccines all across the state. For many families, vaccinating teachers means their kids are one step closer to getting back to class. It also gives these teachers and staff members some peace of mind that they're not bringing the virus home. Channel 11's Michelle Newell takes us inside the team effort required to pull this off out in Beaver County.
I'm looking forward to getting it. It's been, on my mind for some time now.
I never thought I would be excited to say that I'm getting a vaccine, a shot, but I really am.
We are the first folks that see these kids before they go into school, so it's important that we're protected so that we don't pass it on to them.
COVID-19 doesn't stop at school district boundaries, and that means vaccine distribution shouldn't either. Here at the Beaver Area School District, the state is providing more than 100 Johnson & Johnson vaccines. Hopewell Area School District is receiving 173 doses. And that's not all. All 14 school districts in this county will be vaccinated. 1,600 doses are coming to Beaver County. It's good news and a big relief for eligible school employees who want the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
Although everybody will be vaccinated who wishes to be in the coming days, we're the first to start in our county.
And there are more than enough shots to get into the arms of every eligible school employee in every school district within the county, an effort that was only made possible through teamwork.
That planning for us started with the superintendents and the executive director of our intermediate unit coming together on nearly a weekly basis, sometimes more than that.
I think it gives families and students peace of mind that they can feel safe sending their children back to 5-day in-person learning. And I will be receiving mine on Friday evening at 7 o'clock.
So we are set for sometime on Saturday.
We have 11 staff members in the transportation department that are signed up for this Saturday.
And the superintendents for Hopewell Area School District and Beaver Area School District say they have a plan in place if any of their employees have lingering side effects.
Really taking a look at what percentage of individuals we could have out of the building at any given time and still be able to operate at that level.
We will monitor each evening as well as in the morning. That's the one thing about our administrative team. They're in close contact with our teachers and our school staff.
Michelle Newell, Channel 11 News.
Nearly 2,500 school employees in Westmoreland County will get them starting this weekend. The vaccines are not mandatory, though. 12:05, and we have new information on when people might be, more people actually will be seeing more people become eligible, rather, for the vaccines. Pennsylvania's acting health secretary expects a significant amount of Johnson & Johnson shots to arrive by the end of this month. He said it will help work through phase 1A and then potentially start vaccinating other groups. State and national leaders are hoping everyone will be able to register for a vaccine appointment by Memorial Day. Also happening today, Texas businesses can reopen to full capacity and drop the mask mandate if they choose to. But even after a brutal year, many restaurant and bar owners worry the state is going the wrong way down the path to recovery. NBC's Morgan Chesky has the latest from Dallas.
A Texas-sized test on pandemic policies.
They don't need government to tell them what to do. They know exactly what to do.
Governor Greg Abbott ordering all businesses back open, dropping the statewide mask mandate, and stressing COVID numbers are the lowest they've been in months. Not low enough for some.
I think it's much too early.
Now business owners are left to figure out their own plans. At Ascension Coffee in Dallas, they're back to 100% capacity, but mask policies here aren't changing. Manager Shane Obar cautiously optimistic.
My biggest concern is that people are going to not take this pandemic seriously.
In Houston, when Pico's Mexican restaurant announced its mask-on policy wasn't changing, some threatened to call immigration on employees. In Austin, the city using a public health mandate to override the governor's order. The mayor saying leaders should look to the science and data. Texas, one of more than a dozen states now without mask mandates. In California, stadiums reopening in weeks with restrictions. And Disneyland saying it'll welcome back visitors by late April for the first time in more than a year. Disney World in Florida, open since last summer, fully booked through next week. The state already facing spring break crowds with beaches filling up and few masks in sight. From coast to coast, more kids returning to the classroom, some for the first time all year.
Beginning to welcome some of our students back is a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel.
Morgan Chesky, NBC News. Now,
back here at home, if you're worried about losing your home, the city of Pittsburgh is trying to help you. The moratorium on evictions went into effect Friday. Landlords face up to $10,000 fine if they evict someone without good cause. Last week, the Landlord Services Bureau filed a lawsuit. It claims local officials aren't allowed to enact the ban under state law. If you own a business in Allegheny County, you will now have to offer paid sick leave to your workers. Allegheny County just signed off on it, so businesses in Allegheny County county with more than 25 employees must provide 5 paid sick leave days. It will likely be at least a year before workers begin accruing time to qualify for the paid sick leave. The county health department will be responsible for the regulations and the enforcement.
But I also believe in public health and safety, and I believe it's the right thing to do for the humane factor of what the residents of the Allegheny County needs.
The ordinance is similar to one in the city. That law was recently upheld by the state Supreme Court. I'm excited to talk about this. The stretch of warm weather continues, so let's head over to meteorologist Danielle Dozier in Severe Weather Center 11 with a look at how high temperatures will go today. And are we going to hit 70?
I think we're going to get close, Alyssa. It's beautiful out there right now. We've got that sunshine, and throughout the day we will see a slight increase in the cloud cover. But yes, it is incredibly mild. Our temperatures are already up in the mid-60s. It is 65 in Pittsburgh, 66 in Washington, and already 66 degrees in Greensburg. We do have that breeze, winds right around 10 to 15 miles per hour, a little bit higher here in Pittsburgh at 17. I think the gusts could be up around 20 throughout the day today. I am expecting a temperature at 69 degrees later on this afternoon, and this is getting close to a record. So if we hit 69, we're going to be 5 degrees from tying a record high. It is definitely feeling more like May later on today. I am tracking some rain in the forecast. I'll have the timeline coming up.
Sounds good, Danielle. And we are nearing the finish line on final stimulus vote. The House is expected to vote in the next hour, meaning direct payments could hit Americans' bank accounts by the end of the month. Our Jacqueline Fell explains what the bill's approval could mean for you.
The House is on track to approve the nearly $2 trillion deal this afternoon along party lines. Democrats call the American Rescue Plan a lifeline to hard-hit communities, the answer to getting vaccines into arms of Americans, opening schools safely, defeating COVID-19, and getting back to normal.
A once-in-a-lifetime pandemic requires bold investment.
The bill would send $1,400 stimulus checks to most Americans, expand the child tax credit, extend unemployment aid, help renters and homeowners, and includes money for hospitals and local governments. Republicans don't support the bill, calling it too costly and a Democratic wish list.
They are exploiting this pandemic as an excuse to force passage of this budget-busting monstrosity.
The legislation can pass without one Republican vote. It's just a matter of when. Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene forced a delay this morning, making a motion to adjourn.
This is a waste of money and a complete waste of time. Reopening America is a much better way to go.
The White House says the president will sign the bill as soon as it gets to his desk. The rush is on as he looks to beat a Sunday deadline to renew unemployment benefit programs. In Washington, Jacqueline Fell, Channel 11 News.
A community in the North Hills could lock you up for feeding deer. Why town leaders took this big step?
They have all my information and everything.
Hundreds of people say their names are being used to open bank accounts all across the area. How this fraud investigation is expanding. A big push to help struggling local restaurants. How much money you could save just by eating downtown. 11 investigates a surge in identity thefts across southwestern Pennsylvania. People are getting debit cards for bank accounts that they never opened, mostly through Chase Bank. When we first reported on this last week, there were only just a few dozen cases. Now Channel 11's Gabriella DeLuca reports hundreds of victims have come forward.
All of the victims say it happens the same way. They go to their mailbox, pull out an envelope. Inside, there's a debit card that they never applied for. It's happened to hundreds of people all over our area, and police say the Secret Service is now involved.
I was pretty upset. I was like, who's doing this? Like, they have all my information and everything.
Jackie Teep is one of the latest victims of identity theft through debit cards. She says she not only received one from Chase Bank, but then another debit card from MetaBank days later.
Pretty upset that this happened. I'd like to know what's going on, who's doing this, how did they get our information, and how can they open bank accounts without our driver's license and ID?
We told you about this last week when dozens of people in the South Hills and in the city of Pittsburgh reported receiving Chase debit cards in the mail, opened up in their name that they didn't apply for. We talked to the Bethel Park police chief today, who says since the beginning of February, they've received almost 300 reports of this happening.
So it's really strongly hit the South Hills area and some of the southern neighborhoods in the city of Pittsburgh. Our detectives are looking into the fact that it might be in a data breach somehow.
Chief O'Connor has been in touch with Chase Bank, and now the Secret Service is also investigating because the cases are so widespread.
They're experts, they know what they're doing, and hopefully they can track whoever's behind this down and bring them to justice.
For people like Teep, who received 2 debit cards from 2 separate banks, Chief O'Connor thinks it could be connected.
It's very concerning. We care for our residents. We don't like to see them be victimized in any way. And this is modern technology at its worst.
The police chief tells me if you receive a debit card in the mail that you did not apply for, make sure you call your local police department, file a report, and so they can keep count of how many times this has happened in the community. Reporting in Allegheny County, Gabriella DeLuca, Channel 11 News.
12:17 on this Wednesday afternoon, a crash detoured drivers in South Park this morning. Police say a driver hit into a utility pole in the area of Wilhelm Avenue. You can see here, look at that pole. It was sheared in half, knocked down the power lines. No word yet if the driver was hurt. The cause of the investigation, this car crash, is actually still under investigation. Don't feed the deer. You could be fined or even go to jail if you do this in McCandless. The new ordinance was enacted by the council this week. A first offense starts at $50. It can grow to $500. If caught, you could also face 30 days in jail.
Obviously, there are too many deer, but we are right by North Park, so you're going to have deer. People shouldn't be feeding them. Well, I certainly wouldn't want to pay a fine or go to jail.
The goal is to cut down on the growing deer population. 81% of people who responded to a questionnaire said that they support the ordinance or a similar deer management program. And this is kind of crazy. Heavy rains on the Hawaiian Islands have caused flooding on both Maui and Oahu. Look at that video here, the water rushing down. The unprecedented rainfall started Monday on the island of Maui. At first, officials thought that the dam had been breached. The water levels ran over peak capacity and waters overflowed the top of the dam. Over in Oahu, the rain started Tuesday, causing flooding and landslides there. The governor has declared a state of emergency, citing extensive damage all across the state.
Your severe winter Team 11 forecast.
Around here, we have beautiful sunshine. If you want to head out, go for a bike ride this afternoon. Those temperatures will continue to climb, forecasting a high of 69 degrees today as we increase a little bit of that cloud cover. We've been seeing just a few high clouds so far today. Beautiful, beautiful weather. Get outside and enjoy it because things will be changing throughout the day tomorrow. Here is our hour-by-hour wind forecast. I'm expecting those winds to increase throughout the afternoon, where we could have them sustained as high as about 15 miles per hour, and occasional gusts to 20 will be possible. Later on this evening, here's the 7 p.m. time frame. We're looking at those winds coming down to about 5 to 10, and that's where they're going to stay overnight tonight out of the south. Now, with a mostly cloudy sky developing over
overnight tonight and a southerly wind that will keep the temperatures up. So the clouds are acting as a blanket. So we're looking at a low down to only 49 degrees. And again, keep in mind our average temperatures for highs should be in the upper 40s. So the fact that our low temperatures are in the upper 40s, you just know it's incredibly mild out there. Here's a look at our forecast. At the 4 o'clock hour, we begin to see those clouds coming in pretty thick as we head into the evening hours. Looking out to the west, they're building in from that direction, and it will be mostly cloudy and dry overnight tonight. And if you're heading out tomorrow morning, I would grab the umbrella first before you walk out the door because you're going to need it. There are signs now that we're going to have some passing showers during the mid-morning hours. So here's a look at 9:30 a.m. and you can see some of that rain pushing on through the area. So that clears out, and then we're going to have passing showers throughout the afternoon as well, but it's not going to be raining all day. But again, the 4 o'clock hour gives you an idea that we could have some more moderate downpours pushing through, and a cold front ultimately will be moving in for Thursday night into Friday. So that's going to bring more widespread coverage of showers and will continue into early Friday morning. And again, there could be some pockets of moderate rainfall in there as well. Here's 7 o'clock in the morning, and we've already cleared things out primarily for the area. Most of that rain down south of Pennsylvania. For tomorrow, the temperatures will be climbing into the upper 60s, so it's still going to be an incredibly warm day. And aside from the warmth, we've got the breeze and we've got a little bit of rain from time to time to deal with. Those winds will be between 10 and 15, gusting to 20 miles per hour. And coming up in the next half hour, I'll show you my rainfall forecast. Wash the car today because the rain does move in tomorrow, and then we'll keep it around for early Friday morning, and then Saturday you can wash it again. The weekend's looking fantastic. It'll be closer to average, but cooler than what we have been experiencing with high temperatures in the 40s.
Danielle, thank you. No doubt restaurant workers are struggling. One server just got a big jump in pay, though. The surprise tip, 100 times the usual.
We're surviving, we're not thriving.
Restaurants are trying to stay alive during the pandemic. The new campaign that could give them a boost. Live music is coming back to Rivers Casino. A local band is set to take the stage March 26th. This is a major step in the path to recovery. With 15% capacity, that means about 250 people can go. And here's a question for you. Are you looking for somewhere to eat today? Maybe go out for lunch, sit outside? Well, you could save some money at some downtown restaurants. The Good Eats Downtown campaign launched just yesterday. The goal is to help restaurants make it through the pandemic. You'll get 25% off your meals at about 24 participating downtown restaurants. You can use dine-in or you could do takeout, but the offer is only good on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
I think it's a good idea. Give people some confidence to some incentives to come down and get started with getting back into a little bit of normal life.
The Pittsburgh Downtown Partnership reimburses the eatery and says the program will continue until the grant money runs out. For a list of the participating restaurants, go to WPXI.com. And I love this story. I hope you like it too. A restaurant server in Ohio got a pretty big surprise after sharing a special bond with some customers. Here's the backstory. Two widows met for lunch at a restaurant near Cleveland. They told the server they don't cook often. That's because that's been the case ever since they lost their husbands. They found out the server's husband died last year too, and the three women, they bonded over their grief. Their bill came to just over $100, but they left her with more than $2,000.
She was completely shocked. She didn't even know what to do. She said she was crying, they were hugging.
What a special moment, right? Appropriately enough, the tip was for $2,021 or 2021, perhaps a good omen for all three women this year. Cranberry Township is already one of our area's busiest communities. The new plan to bring in more families that has some people thinking about moving. First, though, the vaccine rollout has been all about supply and demand. How that's opening the door to crooks. That's next at 12:30. COVID-19 vaccine rollout is speeding up, and some people who are not eligible just yet are getting vaccine envy, and that opens them up to crooks. Our consumer advisor, Clark Howard, explains how they're preying on anyone looking to get a vaccine.
I've been lucky enough to get both shots of the vaccine because I'm 65. But a lot of people that are older have not been able to get the vaccine yet. They've had trouble navigating the process. And there are people younger who just really want it. And that's laid them open to scamsters. There are scams proliferating all over the place saying that you contact these people and they're going to get you the vaccine. And these play different ways. Somebody who tries to get in your wallet. The vaccine, by the way, is free to get. Or someone who gets personal information from you and then can engage in identity theft. I know it's been frustrating all over the country for people who just really wanted the peace of mind of the vaccine, that you haven't been easily able to get it. I want to put your mind at rest, though, at ease, because over the next 6 weeks, vaccines are going to be much more widely available, and in about 10 weeks' time, we're going to have the opposite situation, trying to get people to come get the vaccine because the people giving it don't have enough customers. I'm Clark Howard.
The CDC is looking to partner with Dollar General just to speed up the vaccine rollout in rural areas. The talks come amid concern that people who live out in the country don't get vaccinated because they don't have access to big box stores. Dollar General has more than 16,000 locations. That's 3 times the number of Walmart stores and more than half as many as CVS and Walgreens. There's a new push to release inmates most vulnerable to COVID. It's for inmates who are no longer considered to be a threat. Allegheny County Democrat Ed Gainey co-sponsored this bill. He says it is their responsibility to make sure the most vulnerable populations have the means to protect themselves. The proposal includes people over the age of 65 and those with underlying conditions. It looks to build on a program last spring where more than 3,000 inmates were released. Police say the treasurer of a church in Mount Pleasant Township admitted to stealing at least $150,000 from the church. According to our partners at the Trib, Glenn Yothers wrote checks to himself between 2015 and 2019 from accounts of St. Paul Lutheran Church. At one point, the church's utilities were shut off and it almost closed because of it. Yothers served as the church's treasurer for 12 years. Prosecutors have indicted another person from Western Pennsylvania in connection to the January 6th Capitol riot. A video posted to Matthew Perna's Facebook page appeared to show him and 2 others talking about their experiences in D.C. during the siege. He's now facing several serious charges. Time right now is 12:33. A building that used to print newspapers will soon be used to grow marijuana. The old Tribune Review printing plant in Marshall Township is now a medical marijuana growing facility. Our partners at the Pittsburgh Business Times report Air Strategies is growing medical marijuana there after buying Cantech PA in December for $57 million. We are right in the middle of the warmest stretch of weather since fall, and I couldn't be more excited. How about you, Danielle?
I'm incredibly excited. I've been outside without the coat on, the jacket on, and that feels nice to me. Our visible satellite shows that we do have some high-level clouds that are building in from the west. You kind of see that white shaded color moving in from Ohio. So we will see a slight increase in the cloud cover throughout the day today, but still a lot of sunshine to go around and just a beautiful afternoon with the temperatures already in the mid-60s. You know, yesterday we had temperatures that reached the mid-50s, and that was some of the warmest weather we had since November. And today it's going to feel more like May with 66 in Indiana, already a 66 in Greensburg and in Butler, and the winds are pretty gusty at 23 and 21 in Greensburg. And I encourage you to send me your weather pictures. If you have any, you're enjoying that weather outside, you can always tweet me, Facebook me, Instagram, or upload them to our website, and I would love to see how you're enjoying these nice days. We do have some rain right around the corner, so I'll share that with you and how much I think we'll see coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Danielle. See you then. Supervisors in Cranberry Township want to bring a new type of housing development to the township. It's called missing middle housing. Channel 11's Jillian Hartman explains what that is and why it could attract young families to Butler County.
Well, a new major housing development could soon be built here in Cranberry Township for young professionals and many others. Some folks living in the area are all for it. However, some others are against it. Cranberry Township is booming right now with more businesses and restaurants.
I like to be able to get in the car and be able to go to my favorite store and have options.
And now there could be possibly more homes. The Cranberry Township Board of Supervisors are considering a new development called the Missing Middle Housing. The goal is to attract young families just starting out, as well as older folks looking to downsize. The development intends to look similar to existing neighborhoods. Here are some examples of the homes posted on the township's website.
They've been building homes here as long as I can remember. It's never slowed down. I personally like it. I think if it gets too big, people aren't happy with it.
Ryan Murtaugh tells me Cranberry is getting too congested and busy. He's now thinking of moving away.
I just feel like they're trying to attract way too many things in here where it's just like it's getting impossible to use.
The possible development would be built on 25 acres of land or more. The township is looking at several properties in the area. The township addressed some questions and concerns online, including would this development eliminate green space and impact traffic?
Honestly, I think any popular place is going to have a problem at rush hour.
According to the site, a traffic study is required with every development, and this proposed plan would require a developer to preserve 30% of open space, including environmentally sensitive areas. We reached out to the township, but they were unable to comment today. Now, if you would like to share your comments on this potential development, Cranberry Township supervisors are holding a virtual public meeting on March 25th at 6 p.m. Just make sure to sign up on their website. Reporting in Cranberry Township, I'm Jillian Hartman, Channel 11 News.
More than 140 cities across the country are in danger of losing their metro status. It could be more than just a matter of semantics here. So under this proposal by the Office of Management and Budget, a metro area would need at least 100,000 people in its core city. That's double the current number, which has been in place for 70 years. If approved, cities impacted include State College, Gettysburg, Wheeling, and Morgantown. Pittsburgh would not be affected. Pennsylvanians can now apply for food assistance right on the phone. You could call the number right here on your screen if you need some help from SNAP. You can also still apply online and by mail. You'll have to watch the Westmoreland County Air Show from your car this year. The other changes coming to the high-flying event.
I didn't really pay attention to how much that stuff cost until I had to cut my hours back.
And she's definitely not alone. The tough choices the pandemic forced this local mom to make that has her worried about her family's future. Welcome back. Hoping you're having a great day. And we do have 2 recall alerts to tell you about involving more than 1 million cars. First up, Kia is telling owners of nearly 380,000 cars in the U.S. to park them outside because of a fire risk. The recall involves certain Sportage SUVs and Cadenza sedans. The company says a short circuit in the electronic brake control unit is to blame. And then Nissan is recalling more than 800,000 vehicles to fix a brake light problem. The brake lights might not come on when the driver presses down on the pedal. The recall covers certain Sentra compacts, and dealers will replace the switch at no cost. Now to a new survey. It found 1 in 5 Americans have dipped into or just wiped out their emergency savings altogether. This is all since the pandemic started. That's forced a whole lot of people to make some pretty tough financial choices. Joanne Hargrove is a mail carrier in Pittsburgh, but her daughter was doing virtual school, so she had to be home. Because of that, she had to cut back her hours, and that's led to some pretty difficult decisions.
Sometimes I have to say no while we're at the store. No, we can't get that right now. We have to get other things that we need.
According to the survey, more than half of Americans are counting on that next round of government relief just to get by. Hargrove said the extra stimulus money might help. And we are still far off from normal, but it's in sight how leaving our homes could lead to health issues for pets in the pandemic.
Plus, a look at the rainfall amounts that I'm forecasting for the next couple of days, and we will take a look at that wind forecast as well.
The pets we've welcomed into our lives have grown very used to having us around, basically 24/7, maybe too used to it. Now pet trainers are in high demand, and once we start going out more, it could impact the health of our pets. NBC's Sarah Dolliff explains why.
They're the pets of the pandemic, brought home over the last year. Perfect companions, but sometimes roll over. Not so perfect behavior. Enter the pet trainers.
We're very, very busy, probably busier than my company has ever been.
And right now, it's not just puppy and obedience classes filling trainer Randy Shucott's schedule.
Ready, down.
Her company, Anything is Possible, is seeing a spike in separation anxiety.
Even dogs that had been in families for a really long time were now discovering that if their human left for any reason, they were discovering that these dogs were not coping very well.
And those calls will likely increase as vaccine distribution expands and pet parents start getting out of the house more.
If you can transition it slowly, that's the best answer for it.
President of the American Veterinary Medical Association, Dr. Douglas Kratt, suggests leaving pets alone for short periods initially, gradually increasing that time, and setting them up for success with things like puzzle toys and treats.
Treats are things that can keep our animals occupied while we're gone. And there's even some timed feeders that can hook up to your phone over the internet.
When you do get home, veterinarians suggest waiting a few minutes before engaging with your pet.
That way it doesn't make you return that big fanfare.
And many are hopeful employers will consider new pet policies post-pandemic. A survey from Banfield Pet Hospital in Oregon found 57% of owners say they'd be most happy returning to the office if their pet can come too. New rules to complement new pet-focused lifestyles. Sarah Dolph, NBC News.
A few more things about this. Signs of separation anxiety can include indoor accidents, digging, and destruction. Dogs can bark excessively, and then cats can groom excessively, so keep an eye out for that. Organizers in Latrobe hope that they'll have some sort of 4th of July celebration this summer, but it looks like the parade through downtown may be off for the 2nd year in a row. Our partners at the Trib report there's a lack of interest in participation. They're still considering a fireworks display and a car show. The Westmoreland County Air Show will be a drive-in event. There will be enough room for about 1,000 cars to park to watch the show. It's scheduled for May 29th at the Arnold Palmer Airport. Tickets will be $100 with up to 8 people allowed in each car. Food stands will be replaced with a mobile truck that will drive around from car to car.
Your severe winter Team 11 forecast.
It feels fantastic out there today, doesn't it? Mid to upper 60s right now at the noon hour. It is 68 in Greensburg, 66 in Butler, that is, and 67 in Beaver. Just incredible warmth to go around all across our area. If you were hoping to get out in the yard, maybe you want to do a little planting, the temperatures will be in the upper 60s. I'm forecasting a high near 70 today, and that's going to be close to a record. So the record for this day is 74, back from the year 1879, so it's dating a long way back. I don't think we're going to get that warm, but it just goes to show you that it's definitely unseasonable, right? We have temperatures by 8 p.m. that are going to be down to about 61 degrees. Here's a look at our storm tracker Doppler 11 radar. We do have widespread rain going on here across the Midwest and upper Midwest, and even some snow as well through parts of the plains. And this is associated with kind of a dip in the jet stream that we're tracking. That's going to be bringing in a chance for a couple of showers as we head into the day tomorrow, and a cold front will ultimately slide through Thursday night into Friday, and that will bring another widespread round of rain to our area. I'll show you that in just a second. Wanted to let you know that tomorrow morning is going to be incredibly mild. Again, keep in mind our average high temperatures are in the upper 40s for this time of the year, so we're starting out in the lower 50s in the morning, and I do expect a chance for a few showers in the morning as well as in the afternoon, but it won't be raining all day. It's just, again, a day where you're going to need your umbrella or your raincoat. 68 degrees for the afternoon high, so it's still going to be a very mild day, and the winds will be gusting occasionally to 20 miles per hour. Speaking of the winds, here's the hour-by-hour wind forecast. Starting at about 10 o'clock in the morning, you can see a few yellow shaded colors. Those winds could be up around 20 sustained with higher gusts. So again, it's going to be a pretty breezy day, if you will, on Thursday. Aside from the wind, we track the rain for you now, and we have the clouds that are moving in tonight. Those clouds will be pretty thick, I think, overnight tonight as I advance the time clock here. And as you see, we'll stop the clock at 6 o'clock in the morning, and we're fairly quiet, but we do have signs that by mid-morning this rain is spreading in, but it's showers, so it's in and out. And then we'll have a few dry gaps with more showers coming in as we head into Thursday night and then into Friday as that cold front ultimately pushes through. And I am forecasting anywhere from about a quarter to a half an inch of rain across the area. So we do look to have some moderate to heavier downpours, but should be out of here for the most part as you head out the door Friday morning for your commute. 5-day forecast, your weekend always in view, and it does still trend cooler for the weekend with some sunshine around. But again, these temperatures are where they should be for this time of year, with 47 on Saturday and 49 on Sunday.
Looks like a great weekend, Danielle. Tickets for the Pens' remaining March home games will go on sale this Friday. They will be sold in pods of 2, 3, or 4 to allow for social distancing. About 1,800 fans returned to PPG Paints Arena last week after the state eased those restrictions. Now here's local Steals and Deals' Lisa Robertson.
Hey guys, I have something I guarantee you're gonna love, because let me tell you, I got this out of the packaging, I started trying it, and all of my people who work for me came up to the office and were like, hey, I need one of those. Hey, I want one of those. Hey, can I have one of those? What am I talking about? This is Reathlete. It's a company that I'm sure you've heard about. They're on social media. Everybody's talking about them. It's the hottest ticket because this concept of percussive therapy is one of the hottest concepts going right now. You're going to have your choice of some different models. We have the Deep 4, we have the Fold, and it's going to come with, by the way, different attachments, which I absolutely love. So this is one that you're going to charge. When you charge, you're going to find whatever attachment you want, and then you're going to decide where you want this therapy. Physical therapists started out using this. Professional sports trainers use this on professional athletes. Then the athletes were using it, and then personal trainers and gyms are using it. And this is what everybody's talking about. So now I have it in here, right? All charged. I'm going to hold this for a minute. Huh? This is percussive therapy. This is almost like a deep tissue, but you're controlling it. This is going to be an unbelievable pinpoint massage. You know how you get all the tension right up here? Wait, hold on. Oh my, yeah. I'm sorry, am I ignoring you? So this is amazing. Now, there's a lot of great options on localsteals.com. There's even more great options than what I'm showing you here. But here's the deal. You wake up funny, you sit too long, your back hurts, you overdid it in the gym. Anyone would love this. Everyone would love this. You can do this while you're watching TV. You can do this anytime, day or night. Here's what I love. These can be extremely investment oriented. If you go to localsteals.com right now, they're 20 to 44% off. Do yourself a favor, make yourself happy. Trust me, you will love it.
Self-driving cars sound pretty cool, right? But most people would prefer car companies just focus on safety. 80% of people surveyed said improving current vehicle safety systems should take priority. This is according to a new AAA study. Most new cars, they come equipped with at least one advanced driver assistance system. Those are things such as automatic emergency braking, the blind spot warnings, or the lane keeping assistance. Self-driving cars have been on Pittsburgh's roads since 2016. As many as 5 companies are testing the technology. Now, if you're not looking here, take a look at this picture. Yep, that's a bobcat right there. Police in Mahoning Township found this big cat along West State Street. Fortunately, it looks like it was minding its own business. Bobcats don't usually go after people unless the animal is sick or being attacked. We have another animal story for you. A bear scare on the slopes in Romania, and it was a little too close for at least one skier. Check it out.
Nu ai voie aici. Nu e voie.
Do you see this? See how close they are? The brown bear came out of the woods and approached a group of skiers. One man there took down the slopes, and then you'll see here this bear begins chasing after him. He threw his backpack into the woods and was able to get away when the bear basically did an about face. Look at him here. He'll stop all of a sudden and then go into the woods after that backpack. That's all for Channel 11 News at noon.